cruising world, it's Mick the Suit Guy with you on a Monday. And we know what Monday means. Monday means it's tips day. Now first, apologies. This suit actually has a bow tie, but frankly, can't be bothered to put it on. So you don't get a tie today. You would. If I was on a ship, I'd have it. Not today. Anyways, today, Tips Monday, and you'll see an array of items on my desk here. I figured I would walk you through some ideas and suggestions of some things to bring on board or with you on a cruise that might make it a bit easier. Now, a lot of you will already know a lot of these, but let's see, shall we? So first thing, before I even go into this, a good idea, and I'm on there now, go into Amazon and type in like cruise essentials. And you can just kind of go through that and it will give you a ton of really good ideas of things to bring with you. One of the things I did not put out here, because I can't find it, it's somewhere, is a power strip with extra USB ports and powers on it, but no surge. Surge protector bad. But we always bring one of those with us. On a newer ship, it's not so necessary because there's a lot more power outlets, but on an older ship, sometimes there's only one outlet on the entire cab, or in the entire cabin. So that's a good idea to bring. But let's go through the rest of it, shall we? So in no particular order. Poo-pourri. Why they got away with, or what the thought process behind the name was, I guess. That if you're what don't stink. I don't know. But this is poo-pourri. It's like Febreze, but very popular and very good in a small environment. Especially if, like me, on the last cruise, you got food poisoning, and it wasn't very pleasant for anybody, especially me, but probably even more especially Julie, being in the same cabin as me. This got sprayed a lot, is all I will say. That was 2 days I will never get back. Potpourri. So that's a good one. There's number one. This is more because I've cruised so much and I've somehow ended up with 2 of these because I lost one and I got another one and then I found it. Now what is in here is, if I can ever open it, I will let you know. Is that taped? That's taped. I haven't even opened that one yet. Hang on. This is live television. These, if you're on a long cruise and you're drinking 15 beers a day like me, these can be very helpful. These are jean belt extenders. So you'll hook this in the button and hook that on the other side. You can even hook them in together. Make it a double loop. So yeah, these are very good. I'm not gonna lie, I also have one of them things you pull on that you can't breathe. What do they call it? Like a corset, but a male corset. I do sometimes bring them on long cruises because you never know what's going to happen to the old, got to get those suit pants on somehow. When I bought them all, I was a lot smaller. We'll leave it at that. So these are button extenders for jeans. That's what they are. I don't need that many. One is plenty. But like I said, I lost one and bought another one, then found the one I thought I'd lost, which happens all the time, right? Next up, luggage scales. I used to have a different pair and they weren't working as well, so I got these new ones. These are great. I just load my bag up, hook it around. That's now on the handle. Turn it on, lift it up, and you can see how much your bag weighs. Now, is it 100% accurate? No, there's been a couple of times it's been a bit off, but most of the time it's very accurate. Just a regular one on Amazon. This says Eat Smart, whatever that means. I don't know if that's the brand or whatever, I don't know. But there's loads of them on Amazon. And really, especially if you're like us and you pack a lot, and you never know what you're going to bring back, and you got to get, there's nothing worse than getting to the airport and finding that you're 5 pounds over and you got to move stuff around and blah, blah, blah. So with this, you shouldn't have to do that. And it doesn't take up much space, as you can see. That's one more thing there. What else have I got here? Oh yeah, now we got some new cases. They're pretty cool. We got some new Samsonite cases that have locks on the sides, but we kind of like having these locks Now TSA can open them, of course. These are TSA approved locks for your cases. But it's just maybe it's psychological. I'm sure anybody, if they wanted to, could break this off and get in there. But we do like to lock our cases when we are flying, either on the side of the case, so we got the new ones, or on the older cases we have. We will use one of these TSA approved locks. This is quite heavy. I'm sure there's better ones than this, but this is a power box for our phone. So if we're in an older stateroom, like on one of the older ships, and we want to charge our phone overnight, because there's only one outlet, and maybe, like most people, when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do these days, not in the old days, it was very different, but these days you reach for your phone. And you want to check what time it is when your wife is snoring, especially in an interior where you can't tell if it's light outside. But anyway, so we have these power banks, very good, very helpful. We'll plug it in overnight. There's 2 outlets on here, so we can both plug our phones in, and it works very well. And then during the day, we just charge it. So we find that very helpful. Again, you wouldn't need this on a newer ship because they got USB ports on the side of the beds, but the older ones, I recommend them if you're the sort of person that needs your phone, like me. I spend more time on that damn phone than I do anything. I find myself, it's like, I remember back in the day when I grew up in England, we would go to the pub and you'd walk in there, no TVs in the pub. We actually had to have a conversation. It's the weirdest thing. There was no Google, so I could lie, and people couldn't call me out on my lie by looking it up. It was a wonderful time. Now, there's TVs everywhere. I sit there and I find myself watching commercials with the sound down. Same thing with a phone. I can't sit still. Phones have made us, or people like me, into non-stop movement machines where I've already got ADD as it is. It just makes it even worse. I'll pick up my phone to look at the time. I'll put it down and realize I didn't even look at the time. So I've got to pick it up again and check the time again. But now, let's play a game of Candy Crush or whatever. And before you know it, you're in a rabbit hole on YouTube watching videos on there. And the TV's playing in the background, but you're watching both, and all, let me just turn that off for a little while I watch these videos, put the phone down, turn the TV back on, and then you don't know what time it is. So you pick up your phone, you know the routine. So anyway, we spend a lot of time on our phones. So, could be a good thing. If you have the discipline to not worry about that, fair play to you. I admire you. Not me. Next up. There's a couple of these here. These are, this is very cool. These are like converter plugs if you're in different countries. Like I can just push these buttons out and there we go. And then you've got different plugs from all over the world and different inputs and outputs. So depending on what country you are in, I can pretty much use this for anything. This we got when we were in Australia. So there's an Australian input there and you've got US on the side. So this is basically a US to Australia, New Zealand. And whoever else uses the same electricity, and a couple of USB ports in the back. I did notice on the Splendor when we were there, that ship is not leaving Australia. That's there for a long time because they've converted every cabin to have one US power point and one Australian power point. So if that ever came back to the US, complete waste of a power point in each cabin. So I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying I'll be very surprised if they bring that back. But this one's more of a general one, all over. So I like that. We always take them. Well, I don't always take this if I'm not going to Australia. But, I guess the point is, and there's USB points on there too, ports. Make sure you get the right one for where you're going. These are very commonly known. This is our upcoming cruise we've got on the Icon of the Seas. So we are going to use this. These are for our luggage tags. So back in the day, we used to bring a stapler and hope it didn't fall off, etc., etc. But now, all you do is, you'll just print out your boarding pass, you'll fold it up, you'll put it in here, like so, and then you'll just hook this, you put that through the loop on the suitcase, you bend this in half, and you fold it through, like so. You can't tell what I just did, but now, it's an invisible case, but it's hooked onto it. Reusable. We've had these for years. And one or two of them have started to break, but we may have to buy some more soon, but priceless for us. And then last but not least on this little selection here, this is a little multi-purpose little bag. Oh, what even to call it? But we love this. We can keep all our important documents in here in one go. It'll go straight in the safe when we get on board the ship, and we will only take it out as needed. But like in the top button here, we have our passports, and then there's a load of side pouches. In this one, I have my green card and our global entry cards. They are in there. And then in the other ones, whatever you want. I've got here, this is for our upcoming cruise on Panorama. We had some money left over from our cruise earlier this year when we went to Asia and Australia, New Zealand. So I've got in here, I've got some Singapore money, and then another one I've got some Vietnam money because we're going back. And then in another one I have some, what else do I have? Not that one, I've already done that one. That's the Singapore again. Oh God, I'm all over the place. Singapore, Vietnam, and the TBD, because that one's empty. Oh, that's right, I've got to get some money. We're going to the Philippines, Malaysia, and Guam. So we're going to get some more, more tip money. When you go into these ports, you don't need a huge amount of local currency because a lot of places will take credit cards. But if you do, just be aware that, and some will take dollars. A lot of places will take dollars. In Vietnam, a lot of people would take dollars. Two things though, if you do bring dollars on a cruise like that, this is an extra tip, make sure they're very clean dollars, because a lot of guys will not accept ripped or tattered dollars because the bank will not accept them. So make sure that if you do bring foreign US dollars to use abroad, crisp, clean, new, tidy notes is the key. But yeah, credit cards and that. So no need to take a huge amount of local currency. We couldn't get dong in St. Petersburg, where we are in Florida. I couldn't find anywhere that sold dong except some currency conversion place that charged a ridiculous exchange rate. It was like double what we were paying for it. So we weren't doing that. I went to England and I found some at a reasonable rate, so I bought some there, but I bought too much. Luckily we're going back to, it was okay because we knew we were going back to Vietnam, so I've still got some in there, and same with Singapore. And on this next cruise on the Panorama, we're going to Malaysia and which we're going back to in 2026 on Celebrity Millennium. And we're also going to Thailand on that cruise again. So we've got some leftover Thai money. But if you're not doing another cruise going to those countries, try not to get stuck with it, because what are you going to do with it? And the exchange rates to buy and sell are crazy. So don't take more than you need. But anyway, yeah, there's some good ideas. A pouch. That's what I was looking for earlier. A pouch. Keep it in your safe. Keep your valuables in one place in your safe. Luggage tags, power bank, adapters for different power. Lock your cases. If you haven't got a lock on the side of your case, weigh your cases so it makes it easier at the airport. If you're a fat whatever like me, and you outgrown the clothes you spent a literally fortune on and you can't do anything about it, make sure you got it covered in the front so people can't see. And poo-pourri. But again, I would recommend going to Amazon and type in like Amazon Cruise Essentials. It's amazing what you might find. So there you go. Some tips on some, if you've got other stuff, I'm sure I left loads of things off. Like I know people bring like shoe organizers, racks and what have you. So put in the comments what you recommend to bring. Or, even better, send me a list of the things you like to bring, and I won't have the props, but I'll do yours. I'll read yours out. Do another episode of this. Just don't repeat any of them. So if you have, let's put a challenge on there. If you have 5 different things that you like to bring on a ship, none of them are those, send them to me in an email. Our email's coming up at the end of this video, and I will do yours as a new show, as it were. Or put them in the comments, and let's share them with other people. Because this sharing is caring. I should have named the channel that. Mick the Suit Guy, whatever. Although I now have 92 suits. 92 suits. I've done 67 cruises. I have 20 on the books. So, actually that's 67 Carnival cruises. I've done 71 cruises. I got 20 on the books. So it's about a tie between suits and cruises on the books. So it's a little race. Who will be the first to 100? Probably the suits, because my cruises are booked out through 26, and I don't think I'm going to fit 18 more, or whatever it is, 8 more in that time. I can't even do math. In England, math. In America, maths, because it's plural. It's not one math, it's maths. So we do more than one, it's whatever. So we'll see. Anyways, if you want to send me yours, please, again, my email is coming up at the end of this video. Please subscribe and hit that little bell. You'll get notifications when these videos come out. These tip videos come out every Monday. Every Thursday, I try and put a cabin video out. And every Saturday, it'll be a miscellaneous video like port tour or a ship tour or something. Something not related specifically. And the whole idea of this channel is not to shock horror. It's to educate and help. Not educate is a very patronizing term. Help you learn more from my experiences, and then you help me learn more by sending me yours and I use them. See you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.